So we are live on YouTube. Here is Hidden Syntax Code, and today we are about to teach you introduction to programming. Please let's proceed because time is not on our side now. It's now 12:48, and we need to take time. We need to take time and 1 second, please. So we are live on YouTube now, and here is Hidden Syntax Code. Please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel for me and share the live session to others to join it. Okay, so before you proceed, let us listen to some of the programmers juniors so that you can listen to some of their ideas and their thoughts on programming. So kindly take time and watch some of the programming genius, the ideas on programming.
Can memorize the syntax, but that doesn't make you a coder.
Do you have advice for a beginner on how to learn Python the right way?
Find something you actually want to do, and it can be a crazy problem you want to solve, completely unrealistic, something that challenges you into actually learning coding in some language. The goal should be learn Python in 10 years. You can memorize the syntax, but that doesn't make you a coder.
Do you have advice for a beginner on how to learn Python the right way?
Find something you actually want to do, and it can be a crazy problem you want to solve, completely unrealistic, something that challenges you into actually learning coding in some language. The goal should be learn Python in 10 years. You can memorize the syntax, but that doesn't make you a coder.
Do you have advice for...
Everybody in this country should learn how to program a computer. Should learn a computer language because it teaches you how to think. And so I view computer science as a liberal art. It should be something that everybody learns, takes a year in their life. One of the courses they take is, learning how to program. Everybody in this country should learn how to program a computer. Should learn a computer language because it teaches you how to think. And so I view computer science as a liberal art. It should be something that everybody learns, takes a year in their life. One of the courses they take is, learning how to program. Everybody in this country should learn how to program a computer. Should learn a computer language because it teaches you how to think. And so I view computer science as a liberal art. It should be something that everybody...
Okay, so we are back again and let us proceed. So through what you are coming to learn today, you learn how to know the definition and the purpose of programming, the real-world applications, and the overviews on how computer operates codes. And through this live session, you are going to learn something about categories of computer programming language, and another one you are going to learn about paradigms and programming basic concepts. So let's take time and proceed. So okay, these are the things or the content you must know about introduction of computer programming. So you must know data structures and their functions and procedures. So let us proceed. So okay, so things you know or things you must know before you start. You see, before you start, there are things you must know that can make you learn about programming or that can make you be a programmer. So you must learn how to know English and its alphabet. So without knowing English and its alphabet, it will be difficult for you to understand what is programming or how to program a computer software. And again, you must know some basic mathematics. Can be difficult for you to understand or program a computer. So, and then again, you must understand some basic computation. You must understand some computations. So when you say that you must understand some computations, you are saying that you must know some algorithms of programming. Without these ideas, or without understanding some basics and ways of how an algorithm works, it will be difficult for you to learn about computation or learn about programming language. You must learn how to use AI tools. Without knowing how to use AI tools like and Gemini and ChatGPT, it's going to be difficult for you to understand or learn how to program, because now programming is moving faster, and without knowing how to use like those AI tools and its applications, it is going to make things difficult for you to understand or learn how to program. And again, you must know or have some basic typing skills. Without having a knowledge of how to type something on the computer, it is going to be difficult for you to understand or type or know what programming is, because programming, we use some syntax or some symbols to we input some syntax or some symbols in our text editor. So without knowing how or the basic typing skills, it is going to be difficult for you to program. So let's proceed. And again, you must know how to use computer. Without the idea of knowing how to use the computer, it is going to be difficult for you to understand programming languages. And again, you must have a problem solving skills. You understand? So these are the things you must know before you start. Without knowing all these things, it is going to be difficult for you to be study programming languages. I hope you understand me. So in case you are missing or you don't know any of these things, try and learn it or try and know something about these things before you start programming, as things is going to be difficult for you to understand. Please. So you must know English and its alphabet. You must know some mathematical calculations. You must understand computation and know how to use some AI tools. And again, you must have some typing skills. And again, you must know how to use computer languages, or how to use the computer rather. So again, let's proceed. And before you start programming, there are some symbols you should know. Without knowing these ideas or without knowing these symbols, again, it is going to be difficult for you to learn programming languages. You understand? So in programming language, these symbols and these symbols have a special meaning, and it help the computer understand what it must do or how things must be done on your code. So when you see brackets like this, we call it parenthesis. So this parenthesis, it is used to contain a list of parameters in method, defining and definition and invocation. And again, it is also used for precedence in expression, containing expressions in control statement. So in programming, the moment we see this symbol, we call it parenthesis. And please don't worry yourself that how are you going to use this in your programming languages. Take time. We are going to use these symbols in our programming text editors. So the moment we start we start one programming languages like C++, Python, Java, and JavaScript, we are going to use some symbol like parentheses in our code. So don't worry. And again, the use of braces. This one is a symbol in a programming languages you must know. It is used to contain values of automatically initialized arrays, and it is also used for a block of code for classes, method, and a local scope. And again, bracket, it is used to declare arrays and type, and also used for differencing arrays. And again, when you see a symbol like semicolon, it is used to terminate a statement. And when you see a symbol like comma, they have a special meaning for, or they are a special keyword. Let me say these symbols are a special keywords in programming languages, and it have their meanings. So you need to know why we are using these symbols in your code. So before you start programming languages, or before you start programming, you must know programming symbols, or you must know how to use this. And these are the symbols you must know. And again, let's proceed. So when you say what is programming, what does it mean? So in a simple definition, a programming, it is a process of creating a set of instructions that tells a computer or how the computer should perform a task. So this is the simplest form of what is programming. You understand? So programming, it is the process of creating a set of instructions that tell a computer how to perform a specific task. So anything, or if you want to know what is programming, this is the simplest definition of programming. So programming is a broader process. So programming is not just about coding, writing syntax like writing a syntax of C++, Python, Java. No. So it is a broader process that includes not just coding. You understand? So like the moment we start planning, designing, debugging, testing, and maintaining, it is part of programming. You understand? So the moment we start programming, you must have the idea of testing, the idea of planning, debugging, and maintaining softwares. These are part of programming, or this is a way of programming. So let's proceed. So what is coding? We have been we have been using programming and coding in a different ways. Though programming is in the form of coding, but when you say coding, it is the art of writing code, that is converting a logic or instructions in a specific programming language like Python and Java. So the moment we say that coding, it is the art of writing code. You understand? The way we are writing the code, or writing a specific language and programming language. So a language like Python, C++, and Java, it is a way, or that is what we call about programming. So something like print bracket, and you bring your double quote, and we type hello world, that is like programming. You understand it? The moment you are typing print and you bring your bracket, and inside the bracket you bring your double quote and we type hello world in the bracket, that is called about coding. So what is a programming language? So when you say a programming language is a formal language used to communicate instructions to a computer. So when you say a programming language, is like a formal language that we can use it to communicate with the computer. We can use it to interact with the computer. So like they are in a human form. It's like a natural language as we speak. So this programming language is like an interpreter, or let's say like a mediator between you, the user, and the computer to communicate. So the moment you write codes in Java and Python, or C++, or let me say JavaScript, the programming language, you are using it to communicate with the computer. I hope you are getting me right. So for as a programmer, you communicate with programming languages. You understand? For you to become a programmer, you must communicate or know how to write a programming language. Without knowing this, it will be difficult for you to become a programmer, as I said. Okay, so let's proceed. So we have categories of programming. There is a difference between categories of programming and programming paradigms. So before you know about programming paradigms, you must know computer categories or categories of programming. So let's proceed. Category for programming means different way or style of writing their codes. So we have low-level languages, high-level languages, and mid-level languages. These are programming languages, and because of their ways or their style of writing it, we have been categorized them in sections. So for you to understand categories of programming, it is the way or ways of writing their programs. So the types or categories of programming, we have low-level programming languages, high-level programming languages. So these are their features. We are going to look through all these categories of programming. So when you say low-level languages, it is very close to machine codes. So some language like assembly language and machine language are like low-level programming languages, and we have high-level programming languages. That one, it is in a human form, so we write those things in a natural languages, so they are easier for you to read and write it. So examples of these programming languages are Python and JavaScript. And again, we have mid-level programs, a mix of natural languages and symbols. So let's take time and look through these categories of programming. So when you say low-level programming, so in case you are a programmer and someone asks you what is low, it is a language that is understandable by computers, or it is used by computers. So this one, the features of low-level programming languages, it is hard for you to it is closer to the computer hardware, or it is closer to the hardware, and hard for human beings to like read and write. You understand? So when you say about low level level programming languages, it is mostly understandable. It is the most understandable language used by computers to perform their operations. So their features, it is closest to the computer hardware, hard for humans to read, gives full control over the computer memory and the CPU. So some of the low programming languages are the machine language and the assembler. So what is machine language? A machine language consists of a string of binary numbers. So when you say a machine language, it is in a zeros, it is in its binary form of zeros and ones. So this one, the machine language, it is also known as the first generation of computer language. So during the days of Ada Lovelace, who is the first computer programmer, or who is the first lady as a computer programmer, they used to write codes in this zeros and ones. So if you want to learn more about machine language, here is the examples of machine language codes. So like you'll be writing them or in like zeros and ones as 0 1 1 0 0 in those things, and it is hard for human being as me to understand it. And during those days, these were the ways people used to like program or add numbers using programming languages. So, and again, when you say about assembly language, it is another level of programming language because the program instructions are written in a language, and it is very close to the machine language. You understand? So when you say about assembly language, it is also known as the second generation of computer languages. So this language use a mnemonic code like symbols. So as I said, the machine language is it is in zeros and ones. the assembly language use some mnemonic code symbols like add, move, and ABX and those stuffs. And that one, it is very closer to the programming language or machine language as the first generation. But this one, there are some mnemonics symbols or some text that we use it to replace the zeros and ones. So instead of add, in case you want to add something that's like integer or an decimal number, you need to use the add number. So we use those to replace the old machine languages. As I said, we use zeros and ones. Okay, so let's proceed. So when you say about, let's talk something about mid-level languages. So this mid-level programming languages, it is a combination of natural languages and symbols. So an example of this mid-level programming languages is C programming languages. So when you see when you see the syntax of C programming languages, you are going to see that it is a mix of natural languages and the symbols. For you to print that the addition of, let me say, 5 and 3, like you need to use some combination of print and some symbols for you to add numbers. Without this, we cannot write C programming languages. So we name it as a mid-level languages because it is the combination of natural language and symbols. And again, take note of this. People consider C programming language as high-level programming languages because it is somehow similar to high-level languages. That's why, because it uses natural languages to show its ideas or to show its languages. That's why. And again, let's proceed. So when you say high-level languages, and that one is like, and as when you say high-level languages, it is one of the simple programming languages in the world. So when you say high-level languages, we say it is a natural language. You understand? Like, it's the use of natural languages that you use it to communicate or use it to instruct or use it to instruct the computer what it should do. So an example of natural languages are and some of those examples are print, input, while statement, or those type of natural languages or those type of English natural languages, as I said. So this is a natural languages. It is those languages we use to speak and use it to communicate with the computer language or use it to communicate with the computer. So high level is one of the simplest or simple languages we have seen on earth. So let's proceed. So when you say programming paradigms, this is just an introduction, and in case you don't know anything about this, don't worry yourself, because this is just an introduction. And get in mind, you need to know this introductions, and without knowing this introduction, it is going to be difficult for you to speak or understand how programming languages, or it is going to be difficult for you to speak or talk or interact with the computer. As a programmer, as I said, you must know how to talk, speak, express yourself, or communicate on how the computer works. You must give an instructions to the computer. You must tell the computer what to do. So for you to become a programmer, you must know all these things. So let's talk about programming paradigms. So when you say programming paradigms, it is the style or approach of writing the code. It's somehow similar to the categories of um, programming, but this programming paradigms, it is the approach or their way of writing the codes. It's different from the categories. Get in mind of that, because when you say paradigms, so it is a way or the ways of writing the codes, as I said. So it is define how the structure and solving problem using programming languages. So the different paradigms offer in let me say the paradigms, there are some differentiations that shows that it is a paradigms of computer languages. So when you say computation, logic, organizing the logic and maintaining data, that shows how that shows the paradigms of programming. So the features of paradigms of computer programming, like they shape how you can think. So let me say let me say something like so let's say something like object oriented programming, that let me say that is OOP. It is a way of, it shows how you can think, you understand, and they influence code and maintainability and performance, you understand. So this is how programming paradigms are, you understand. So let's proceed. So programming paradigms. So these are some of the programming paradigms. So we have imperative, procedure, functional, and declaration. Don't worry about knowing this. As we continue on learning about C++, Python, and Java, you'll be known about knowing how programming paradigms are. So please, let's take time and watch it. And for now, we are going on break. Very soon, we will. So we are back again, and we want to continue where we left. It seems I'm having connection problems, but let's proceed. So we reach the programming paradigms. You understand? We read there, and as I said, you don't worry yourself. Like when you say imperative, procedure, object oriented, functional, and declarative, um, when when we proceed learn about the core program languages, like we are going to know all these paradigms. So don't worry yourself, okay? And again, let's proceed. So let's get to know about how computers understand program languages. Please hold on for me. It seems where am I? There are some noises, so let me go on break and fix. Yeah, so we are back again. You understand? Daily Red, that's my boss. Thank you very much, boss. So we are back again, as I said. So we are now coming to learn about how a computer understand program languages, or how computer understand program language. So you see, before like programming will understand if, else, and those natural languages as English, we always say like if else and those stuff, print, input, and those programming keywords. You must understand that there are something that translate this to the machine languages. You understand? So when you say how programming understand, or how a computer understand the program languages, is that how computer translate, or ways is let me say is in the form of translating natural languages to a machine language. You understand? So like is a way of converting those natural languages to the zeros and ones, that is the machine languages. So for a computer to understand a program languages, it uses compiler and an interpreter for a computer to understand a program languages. So let me say, so when you say about a compiler, or let's talk about something about a compiler or an interpreter. So when you say a compiler, it translates the entire source code written in a high level program languages. You understand? So for a computer to understand a program languages, those compilers and the interpreters translate these languages into a machine language for a computer to perform its task. So when you say a compiler is just so when you say a compiler, oh, please hold on for me. It seems where am I? They are so noisy, and we need to let them to minimize their voice, as they are going to spoil our live session here, please. So let's proceed. Okay, so we are back now. So how a computer understand programming languages. So as I said, or as I was explaining, like the computer uses the compiler and the interpreter to translate the code to machine language. So when you say a compiler, it is a language that translates the entire source code as that was written in the high level program languages. So the compiler translate this source code in at once. So it doesn't translate this code line by line, but it translates the whole entire source code at once without translating them in once. And when you say about interpreter, it translates the code or execute the source code line by line. You understand? So an example of those computer languages that uses an interpreter are like Python. This interpreter, when you write a code in um, when you write a code in uh, Python, or when you write a Python syntax code, the interpreter will translate the code line by line. Whilst like C++ uses the compiler to translate its source code. So the execution happen to the entire source code. You understand? So let's move on. So some of so these are the simplified way for you to understand it. So how a computer understand code, as I'm still explaining. So like when you write the code, the translator, that will be the interpreter or the compiler will translate it and later convert it to the machine language. So let's proceed. So let's before you know or before you start, let's try and understand some programming terms. So for you to become a programmer, there are some terms you must know, or there are some terms you must understand about it. So something like core programming concept and control flow terms, structure terms, tools and environment, object-oriented terms, and miscellaneous essentials and keywords. These are the things you must understand for these are the terms you must understand whilst you want to start programming. So let's proceed. So when you say programming concept, these are the things you must understand, you must know about it. So when you say programming concept, you must know about algorithm, you must know about variables, you must know about functions, parameters, and returns. And this is one of the core programming concepts you must understand. And when you say control flow terms, you must know about loops, conditions, and booleans. Don't worry yourself. We need to wrap up and continue on our next section of our program, because we need to start one programming languages. And bear in mind, we are going to build an application, not just learning about the console application. Okay, so let's proceed. So the structure terms. So the structure terms, you must know syntax, statement, and expressions. And again, you must know um, tools and environment. So the tools environment, you must know the IDE, that is the integrated development environment, and the test editor. So you don't worry, we are going to learn all these things as we proceed to our next session of our programming class. So again, the object-oriented terms, you must know about class, object, and methods, method and inheritance. So don't worry, okay? So it's just the introduction, and as I said, we will learn more and we learn how to build application, not just about C in, C out, system.out, see those console application. You are going to build desktop applications, you are going to build mobile app application, you are going to learn how to use AI to build like mobile app application and those stuffs. And this is the programming headquarters. As I said, when you take time, we are going to learn more about programming. So my name is Adubuachi Yadomowusu. It's now 1:29. We need to wrap up and end our live session. So through our subsequent or through our following meetings, we are going to learn about a language like C++, Java, C Sharp, and JavaScript, and different program languages, and how to use them in your application. Thank you very much. Okay, may God bless you. Yeah. In your application. Thank you very much. Okay, may God bless you. Yeah. May God bless you in your application. Thank you very much. Okay, may God bless you. Yeah. May God bless you in your application. Thank you very much. Okay, may God bless you. Yeah. May God bless you in your application. Thank you very much. Okay, may God bless you. Yeah. May God bless you in your application. Thank you very much. Okay, may God bless you. Yeah. May God bless you in your application. Thank you very much. Okay, may God bless you. Yeah. May God bless you in your application. Thank you very much. Okay. May God bless you in your application. Thank you very much. Okay. May God bless you in your application. Thank you very much. Okay. May God bless you in your application. Thank you very much. Okay. May God bless you in your application. Thank you very much. Okay. May God bless you in your application. Thank you very much. Okay. May God bless you in your application. Thank you very much. Okay. May God bless you in your application. Thank you very much. May God bless you in your application. Thank you very much. May God bless you in your application. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.